good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I'm pretty sure they're going to be on here. Jacob Tanjay, Michael Beecher Life. All my old heads, thank y'all so much. He says, live streaming back. Why the change of heart? Well, the people asked me to, and that's a real good reason. None of your business. Remember, this is your channel. Without you guys, we're nothing. I have no channel. Thank you to all my members. What's up, Harry Shoulders? He said, bending over backwards in the Philippines should be an Olympic event. Man, you're getting ahead of me, but this doctor said something about bending over backwards. All my members, there's Eric Smith. What's going on? W Secrets to Success. Golden Gate said, glad you made it back. Thanks, man. Any new viewers and subscribers join us for the first time, welcome. Anybody catching this on live stream, we always have a topic. Today's topic is, and it's a continuation of the video I did today, no more Mr. Nice Guy. The high price men pay for being too nice in the Philippines. This is just part 2. This is just an extension of that conversation. But of course, this is your live stream, so put it over here and we'll get to it if we can. The peso is 57.99, so it's staying closer to 58, which is good. You know, that trip that we took back, it was a beast. You know, it was all because I was being Mr. Nice Guy. See, if I would have been firm and assertive and said, hey, no, we're flying back, we would have been back. But I was being Mr. Nice Guy. So we ended up riding the bus from one end, the southern end, Glen, the southernmost tip of the Philippines, to northern Philippines, about 14 hours altogether, to Cagayan de Oro, and then we caught the ship from Cagayan de Oro to Cebu. That was another 9 hours. So yeah, it was, then of course we had to catch the bus to Toledo, then the ferry to San Carlos City, man. He said, Cal, did you see my message via Messenger and WhatsApp? No, you know, I was just getting my notes and stuff together, doing my video. I'll take a look at it. What's going on, W Secrets of Success? What's up, Retired 2019? I hope. He said, I hope. He said, hey, Calvin, hope you enjoyed yourself on your latest travel adventure. I did, man. You know you were gone long enough when you start missing home. There's no place like home. There's no place like your own bed. And all this crap about these Airbnbs, it really pissed me off. And these, you know, they say that they got the cameras in there to make sure people aren't abusing their property and all that, man. It's foolishness, man. Hey, David, thank you for stopping by. But Retired 2019, I hope you're feeling good, man. I know what you're going through, and I can't relate, but you told us. And I hope you got your help and your strength, man, today. Thanks for joining us. David says, good morning, Cal. The only vlogger from the Philippines I watch regularly. Appreciate your genuineness and honesty, man. Thank you, man. That's really the biggest compliment you can give me. Remember what I told you on my video today? Kenny Wilson is the father of Garrett Wilson. And man, he raised 5 children. Garrett Wilson is just an unbelievable athlete. He's a young NFL wide receiver with the New York Jets. And he told him on draft night, I don't know if he was there or not, but he sent a video. He said, always keep one truth teller around you. He said, one truth teller is worth 50 yes men. He said, yes men always want something. So, but a truth teller will risk it all because he loves you. You know, sometimes we need somebody that's going to tell us the truth, man, even though we don't want to hear it. It's going to help us, man. That's what I try to do. It's too many yes men out here, especially, on YouTube. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, so you keep on clicking on that. You know what I'm talking about today? A lot of you guys don't even realize, man, that you put on that mask when you get over here, and that they demand that you wear it the entire time you're here. What's up, Uncle Buck? He said he's in Bali. Wow. Golden Gate, American Nightmare. That's a grueling bus ride. Honestly, we got on a good bus. A lot of these buses, all these buses aren't dilapidated. A long ride it is. Because, remember, from Glen to General Santos is 1 hour in that van. That's probably the most dangerous mode of transportation, public transportation you can take in the Philippines. Okay, I'm just going to say it. These drivers, I guess they're paid by the trip. They drive like a bat out of hell. They don't get the memo that so many innocent people die on the road every year because they're rushing. Look it up, man. I mean, these vans, they run off the cliff, they catch on fire, they have crashes, all for the sake of getting back and forth so they can get another load of people. Then once we got to General Santos, then it's another 3 hours to Davao. Then from Davao to Cagayan de Oro, it was 8 hours. What's up, Mr. Brand? He said, hey, Cal, everyone get the thumbs up. Now, the bus, we rode 2 different buses. One bus line was different from General Santos to Davao. Man, that bus was dilapidated. That's the worst bus ride I've had in 15 years. But the bus ride from Davao to Cagayan de Oro was actually smooth. I'm going to show y'all. It took us through the mountains and everything. I'm going to show y'all that trip. Then the ship. The ship, we went ahead and got the suite. It was only 4,800 pesos. About $80. Yeah, get the thumbs up, guys. Come on, y'all. Give me some support. What's up, Jeffrey? He said, man, that's a long bus ride and boat ride for a trip that could have taken about 1 hour flight and another 3 hours by car and boat. No, it took longer than 3 hours by car and boat from Glen. It's an hour. It's 5 hours in a van or car from Davao to Cagayan de Oro, but it only took 50 minutes, man, a 50-minute flight, guys. But you have to understand, I'm being Mr. Nice Guy. I'm thinking of her feelings because I can get on the plane. It's just getting to the airport. Once I get on the plane, it's a done deal. I mean, I love to fly, really. But Marilyn, she worries me so much, man. She gets quiet, because Marilyn suffers from anxiety really worse than me. She's on some kind of medication. She don't take it, though. Stephen Ellie says, how many hours was that return trip home compared to flying back? Well, the flight would have only been 50 minutes, but it took us 14 hours on the bus altogether, 9 hours on the ship, and then another hour on the ferry. Yeah, it's crazy. He said, yeah, I've been on some scary rides. I'm going to tell you, though, that van, that they call them VR vans, man. You're literally putting your life in the hands of these drivers, man. They're very, very dangerous, but some of them are really good drivers, obviously, because you would think there would be more accidents, but when they have them, man, are they bad. What's up, Jacob? He said, greetings, brother Cal and crew, late checking in tonight. That's okay. He said, Cal, I thought you always said you didn't like flying. No, I always liked flying. It's just that in 2015, something happened to me. And it was hard for me to get on the plane. Once I get on the plane, I'm okay. It's just like the week or two leading up to my flight, I can't sleep. I'm thinking of everything that can go wrong. But once I get up there in the air and you get your, your cruising altitude, man, it's so much better, especially in the Philippines. The mode of transportation, the best, the most comfortable, the safest, obviously, is the airplane. Because when you're out on those buses and those ships and stuff, man, you're gonna have some. The passenger might be a damn duck or a damn chicken. He says, my fear is the lack of maintenance of buses, cars in developing countries. Most of the accidents shown on various social media sites are from overseas countries. Yeah, it's always over here. It's dilapidated vehicles and usually bad brakes, because going from General Santos to Davao, you could hear it every time he stopped. You could hear the scrubbing of metal against metal, and it's all through the mountains. So one slip up. That's why I give them credit. They've got excellent bus drivers, but those van drivers are totally different. I guess that's how they get paid, man. Thank you, brother. He said, thank you. Everyone appreciate it. Much respect and love. He said, I've been watching your videos for a few months now. Thanks for all the real advice. I'm still on the hamster wheel, but soon I'll be moved to the Philippines. Your videos have been very helpful. Thank you, man. That's really all I'm trying to be. If I can help somebody, remember, I'm the truth teller. You need that one truth teller, guys. It's worth 50 yes men. It's true. You start surrounding yourself with yes men, man, you're going to be in trouble over here. Somebody has to give you the nitty gritty. What's up, Sam McCall? Man, you was hilarious on that video. Oh, yeah, he said, Cal, the 1 hour flight is from Davao to Cebu. Then you got another 3 hours. No, the 1 hour flight is from, the 50-hour flight is from Davao to Bacolod City. It's a shorter flight than from Davao to Cebu. It's only a 50-minute flight. And then we'd already been on Negros Occidental. Then we just took the bus. Hell, we'd have been here long ago. But that's okay. What's up, boo-hoo? He said, the scary part for me is taking off and landing. Something else I wanted to talk about that, goes over people's heads a lot of times when I post is the weather. I just wanted to put y'all boots on the ground and show y'all some of the weather conditions that you're going to face, especially now, if you got plans to come over to the Philippines or anytime in the future, if it's during the rainy season. Remember, we've got La Nina either going on right now, or it's approaching. Cagayan de Oro gets a whole lot more rain than we do here in San Carlos City. Everywhere you go, every island is different, man. I'm just telling you, it is. Especially when it comes to typhoons and stuff. So I just would suggest that you research the weather pattern to wherever you're going. If you're going up in Luzon during the wet season, you're going to get blanketed with rain and flooding in certain parts. Cagayan de Oro, man, it just rains. I mean, it rains buckets there. Nothing like here, man. What's up, Kaz? He said, coming to the Philippines, which city would you recommend for a first timer? Any of those cities in the, what I call the expat alley, but remember I put Davao up there first, and then Angeles City, Cebu, Manila, Metro Manila. Cagayan de Oro is nice, man. I mean, we always talk about the infrastructure in the Philippines, but man, they get hit by one natural disaster after the other. I think they're doing great just to keep their head above water, literally. But if you see some of my videos, see, what I didn't know about Cagayan de Oro was how much they got going on up in those mountains. Much more than we've got here. I mean, they got really nice resorts with these just unbelievable views and restaurants. And, Cagayan de Oro is one of the richest cities in the Philippines outside of Metro Manila. I didn't know that. What's up, Blizzard of Bra? We're going to eventually do that now that I'm back home, I'm going to interview this guy for the No Man Left Behind podcast and get his views on some stuff. And anybody that wants to come on there, let me know. But the weather, we really got to be careful, man, about this weather. Then the transportation, the modes of transportation. And then I made the video about Filipino rich. Has money changed her? And that just went over so many people's heads. One guy said, yeah, we changed, and he's right. And that's what my video this morning is about, and this vlog is about. We do change. But what I'm talking about is a lot of the women that we deal with over here, they come from very humble beginnings, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot deny that. Okay? And just because your woman didn't mean, it really means she's the exception. So what happens when she comes into money? Is that human nature? I would say it is. I'm just letting you know, because I'm over here in the Philippines and you plan on coming. Just another thing for you to look for, another red flag for you to look for when you come over here, because, we've got enough problems as it is trying to make these relationships work. They're not normal. They're abnormal relationships. If you get one that works, man, you pat yourself on the back. It's going to take some effort, but that's just one more thing you can look for. Does she go crazy, now that she's, Filipino rich? Maryland's Filipino rich now by Filipino standards. When the average salary here is about $300 US per month. I'm talking about a real job. I'm not talking about under the table. Under the table jobs are far less. Probably about half of that. Okay. And now all of a sudden, Maryland's got a compound and land over in Cebu, all together worth about 3 million pesos, man. That's like me having 3 million in America. Okay. So you can look at some things, her attitude, the way she treats other people, her expectations, her wants, did they change? That's all I was trying to get to there. What's up, Papa Smurf? It's a great stream, my friend. I appreciate it. But let's get over here, man. Let's talk about this. Because this guy is you all in my thoughts. And this is what it's about. It is about balance. Jimmy Davis says, all about balance. You don't have to be mean and nasty, but at the same time, have boundaries with people, not being a pushover. You're right. And see, no more Mr. Nice Guy doesn't mean we're going to be mean and nasty. But we are going to have boundaries, man, and we don't want to be a pushover. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Just for this vlog today, what is niceness? The definition of niceness. I'm going to keep it simple. A willingness to behave in ways that are beneficial to another person at the cost of oneself, at your expense. See, this is what we do. You have to be honest, though, with yourself, because a lot of us are in denial. Look, man, once you get off that plane, they give you a Mr. Nice Guy mask, and they expect you to wear it for the entirety of your trip here, your time here. I don't care how many years it is, weeks or whatever it is. You better wear that damn mask. We're constantly being reminded that, oh, you're only guest here. Don't complain. Don't voice your opinion. Don't offend nobody. Stay silent. Avoid conflict. Avoid confrontation. Just be a non-entity. You're nothing, basically. And you have to make the decision, is this how I want to spend my fourth quarter? Because I always tell you guys, see, more will be revealed as time goes on, man. And I think about stuff, man, because I always say, I'm a free black man over here. I'm free. Am I really free over here? If I can't express myself fully, because I can never be truly free if I'm unable to express myself fully. And you can express yourself fully over here. So it's a decision that you have to make. But you're going to put on that mask and we become Mr. Nice Guy. Don't offend nobody. Okay, and we always, constantly being reminded of how sensitive people are. So we spend a lot of time on eggshells over here, man. We walking on eggshells. Because I used to think to myself, why do men do the crazy stuff over here that they would never do at home? Because they got that damn mask on. They're Mr. Nice Guy now. They're agreeable. Okay? It's crazy, man, But you got to put that mask on. And when you put the mask on, you're not your authentic self. You're not who you really are. So not only are you cheating yourself, but you're cheating everybody else because now they don't get to know the real you. It's these damn games you got to play. So there's no arguing with people. You don't want to upset nobody. What kind of way is that to live? That's not a real existence. That's not real life. Real relationships have ups and downs, man, highs and lows. It's 360 degrees to you, but you ain't gonna show that 1 degree. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. It's tough. It's tough, man, to do that. It's impossible, really, to be nice all the time. But I'm gonna quote you some stuff from these 2 authors that I put under my video, and I'm gonna, after this is over with, I'm gonna put those 2 links. It's great. I mean, there's so many videos. I mean, so many articles on this subject. I had no idea because I was thinking on our way on the bus to Cagandura, I was like, why is everybody I meet is so damn nice? Meaning foreigners. They have no complaints. They, everything is on the up and up. And I'm saying, this is strange. That's not real. It's not realistic. What's up, Kevin? He said, nice guys always finish last. Yeah, in the way that we're going to talk about it today. You're exactly right. See, being nice in the way that we being nice over here, we're looking for acceptance. We want everybody to like us. So we put the needs of everybody else in front of our own, man. It's a dangerous game you're playing right there. He said, best to be yourself around the women and everyone there. Do it from day one. Putting on an act only lasts so long. Well, it's easy to say. But a lot of us have the mask on at home, Eric. And when you're 70 and your girlfriend's 25, you're trying to make this impression. You certainly, don't want to make her unhappy because you're afraid you're going to lose something or lose her, or get deported. You can respect people and respect the culture without being a damn doormat. But most of us come over here and be a damn doormat. And trying to be a doormat for years, man, you eventually going to be unhappy. Because all those repressed feelings eventually going to come to the surface. Remember, I used to tell y'all, I said, man, about every 6 months, man, I had it up to here and I snapped, right? But I chalked that up to cultural differences. No, that's from being too nice. That's what happens. You're repressing all these feelings, all the conversations, like Charlie Mitchell said, that you never had, that you miss out on because you're trying to be so good, so nice, so agreeable. He says, I keep to myself. And that would be, you still have to be nice. Because you're not going to come over here, and if you can come over here and be by yourself, that makes it a lot easier. You don't have to people please so much. Okay? But I'm just telling you, this is what I turned into, a Mr. Nice Guy. And I had to recognize it in myself before I could recognize it in anybody else. And I was like, wow, this is strange. I mean, every household I go into, there's never any complaining. I was like, do we really have such perfect relationships and perfect lives over here? Or is this a bunch of bullshit? It's a bunch of bullshit, man. Napoleon Hill said it best. He said, one of the true riches of life is self-expression, man. So the opposite of that is self-suppression. You can't say what really needs to be said because you're afraid of disappointing somebody, okay? Of hurting somebody's feelings. It's some deep stuff I got on here. Hey, what's up, Angelo? And I got those CDs, man. I want to apologize. We didn't stop by the last day we were in the Val. I'm going to send them to you today. I need you to send me your address on WhatsApp. He said, just stopping in for a few minutes. What's up, 53 Shades Darker? Both of these guys were at the meet and greet. He said, let people show you who they really are. Yeah, well, you need to show people who you really are, and we don't do that. From the minute we get off the plane, we're this Mr. Nice Guy. The man was right. Go look under that video where I say, you know, she's Filipino rich now. Has money changed? And he said, yeah, we changed too. We changed in a big way. I mean, we wimp out really bad over here, man. All of them. Look at the vloggers. That's all you got to do if you think I'm lying. They're not really telling you the full story, man. It's this sugary coated bullshit, man. You know, and everything over here is not strawberries and cream. But you better not say it. You better not express yourself fully. And you can do that without being disrespectful. You can disagree respectfully, but we won't dare do it. Okay? But, you know, we pay a high price, man, especially physically and mentally when you're trying to be this fake person. You're not your authentic self. You know, they call it, and I tore this definition up. I couldn't remember it fully, but the stress overload is what happens. It says when you're constantly putting others first while neglecting your own needs, it triggers a chronic stress response, leading to burnout and emotional exhaustion. Once you be over here long enough, man, you're going to know that's real. That's what I was talking about every 6 months. I blow my top, right? But I'm thinking, oh, it's because of the culture differences and everything. No, that's part of it. You know, being this perfect guy that they want me to be over here, that they expect me to be. What's up? What time is it, Travels? You know, if you can be honest with yourself, you know that your personality changes when you get over here. We're constantly reminded how sensitive people are here. Oh, you're only a guest. Don't complain. When complaining, there's good that comes out of complaining. There's nothing wrong with, you know, expecting better. But we can't even complain. We simply have to be doormats. And nobody's going to admit that. He said, yeah, they're keeping a peace to get a peace. And whatever it is that we're doing, you know, the Harry Shoulder said bending over backwards should be an Olympic sport in the Philippines. Okay, let me show you what this doctor said about what nice people do. And this is, excuse me, Dr. Maria Sirota. I'll put her link in there. Excuse me, under my video. She says, nice people bend over backwards to be obliging. They deal with potential conflicts by making the other person less angry or hostile because they can't bear to have anyone upset with them. See, this is what we do. We pander to these women and to the people over here, man. So if something bothering you over here, you got to suppress it. If something makes you angry, you suppress it. But pretty soon, the pressure builds up, man, and you snap. Well, who you going to snap on? Okay? But again, you got to be honest with yourself. It's too many tough guys on here. It's too many guys who are really living a perfect life. And I'm saying, man, you're lying. I see it over here. You're letting the woman get away with stuff. You dare not offend anybody. You dare not have a differing opinion over here, guys. Okay. But it's destruction of self. That's what it's coming to. You're not your true, authentic self, man. That's a high price that you pay, guys. Okay. But the guy that I was telling you about, he said, I have to admit, I haven't got into one disagreement with that's right, because you're Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. That's unrealistic. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all think I just be on here babbling. Remember I told you, I said, at some point, a lot of these women, they start resenting you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what the doctor said when you're so damn nice. Okay, remember I made some shorts about that. And she says, nice people fail to get the love they seek. And the person on the receiving end of their attention, feels like they're not getting enough care. So instead of being grateful, they become resentful toward the pleaser. This is what happens to a lot of us over here, man. You see it all the time. Guys be like, man, no matter what I do, man, it don't seem like she's grateful. Or, we'll call them ungrateful. Yeah, because you've been too damn nice. It's unnatural. He said, when everybody speaks well about you, there's a problem. You getting somewhere, man. He said, Calvin's always told the truth about the Philippines. I respect that. I don't sugarcoat anything. This isn't Willy Wonka. We can be respectful without disrespecting the culture and the people. But when you're Mr. Nice Guy and you're wearing that heavy ass mask, it gets uncomfortable. And you got to wear it from the whole time you're here. You can't complain. You can't voice your opinion. Okay, you can't share your perspective. Okay, it's tough, man. But let me talk to you about this Aziz Gazapura. He's an author, and he wrote the book. Let me get it right because I butchered it too in my video. It's called Not Nice. Stop people pleasing, staying silent and feeling guilty, and start speaking up, saying no, asking boldly, and unapologetically being yourself. So what he talked about in the book, he said, at its core, this is deep right here. This is me. He grabbed me by the throat, the juggler with this. He said, at its core, being nice is about being liked by others by making everything smooth. No waves, no friction. It's based on this, and he's got woefully inaccurate in parentheses theory. If I please others, give them everything they want, keep a low profile, and don't ruffle feathers or create any discomfort, then others will like me, love me, and shower me with approval and anything I want. Man, it's deep. This is deep. This is what we're seeking. We're seeking acceptance over here is what we're doing. Because guys are too nice over here, man. You're not that nice all the time at home. You're nice every damn day. You agree to every damn thing over here. And it's crazy, man. You walk around on eggshells. Okay, what's up? Just Travels? He said, glad to see you back. I'll hit the like button. Yeah, they wanted me back. I'm back, man. You know, this is y'all channel. I mean, you're a vlogger. I'm not stupid. If people wasn't watching and listening, I would be speaking into the universe like I was in the beginning. So when they say, hey, man, you know, think about us, you know, we like that. Uh, 97420 Empire says, a latchkey kid, the words no, whatever, and I do not care come to my lips when people try and use me for an ATM. Well, when we come over here, that's not even part of the picture. You're missing the whole conversation. We voluntarily change before we even see the woman. You get off at the airport, now all of a sudden you're this Mr. Nice Guy. You got to be perfect. You're walking on eggshells the whole time you're here. You cannot fully express yourself, okay, and your opinions and everything. Everybody's got opinions. That's part of the human, the flaw in the human makeup. There's 8 billion perspectives. You're always going to argue about something, guys. We do it over here. We do it online. But now all of a sudden you get over here, you never argue. You hear what Hal Funk Bay said. He said, I got to admit, I've never had a disagreement. Yeah, because you're Mr. Nice Guy. And it's the same with them. There's no way, you know how we say, y'all Filipinos are so nice and so welcoming. Yeah, but they've got that damn mask on too, because they're human beings too. Nobody, it's impossible to be nice all the time. Okay. He said, sunshine shoulders beats cold shoulders every time. He said, Cal, I say the first thing on my mind, whether a person likes it or not. Well, I know you do at home. We're talking about over here. You haven't been over here yet. Retard 2019. You're exactly right. Most of us do. Most of us show you the 360 when we're at home. You don't show her the 360. All she gets is the good part. So she's ready to marry you. She's ready to take that visa and come home. And sometimes they get a rude awakening, man, when they get to your country. And the real you comes out. When you're frustrated and all that, you know, your human emotions come out. They're not repressed. They're not suppressed like we do over here. Hey, he said, greetings from Vancouver Island, British Columbia. Hey, thanks, man. I got a lot of friends now. Jamie, let's see, Angelo, Habib, Mike, but they're from Nova Scotia. He said, but sometimes they take the smallest thing as disrespect. You have to be extra careful of how we deliver our words to them. They are extra sensitive, everyone. Yeah, see, this is what I just said. We're constantly reminded of that. So we got to walk on eggshells. So are you free here? I'm safe. He says, are there any natural caves near you or underground bunkers? I'm not sure. I know if there's waterfalls, there's probably caves. I know there's all around the Philippines. That's one of the attractions that bring a lot of the adventurers over here, especially Palawan, Cebu, Bohol. He said that is its own hamster wheel. In a way, it is. It takes work to do that, man, you know. And like I said, the pressure is building up. You're suppressing all that. Eventually, it's going to come out. And everything you've been trying to avoid, you're going to do it, but it's probably going to help your situation. Because when you explode, it's going to make her angry. It's going to hurt her feelings. Well, that's good. Then you make up. Then you do it again. Because real relationships have highs and lows. They're not like this. like we're trying to do. You know, we're just skirting along like this. Every 100% of the households I've been in, the men are that way. Okay? Because he says 53 shades dark in the Philippines. Facts. That's right. And you know why? Because we dare not offend anybody. We're afraid to offend anybody here. Okay? And that's what it is. We don't want to step on any toes. We don't want to cause any waves or any friction. That's what he said. Making everything smooth. Okay? But he tells you, and I agree with him, this theory is woefully inaccurate. If I please others, give them everything they want, keep a low profile, and don't ruffle feathers or create any discomfort, then others will like me, love me. This is what we're working on over here, guys. Listen to me. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to admit it. I'm telling you what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I had to see it in myself first before I could see it in everybody else. You know, we're worried about their feelings, not ours. That's what niceness is, the guy says. Willing to behave in ways that are beneficial to another person at the cost of oneself. Okay? Donald Bledsoe says, if I go out to a restaurant and the food that I ordered isn't correct, I'm going to speak up and let them know that this is not what I ordered. Yeah, I mean, something like that. But, okay, say for instance, okay, the other day, our last day in Cagayan de Oro, we went to a nice resort. I won't say the name, but, you know, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I don't want to offend anybody. But I ordered a hamburger because I went to that freaking burger in Cagayan de Oro. It's off the chart, guys. If you're in a place where freaking burger is, because I had heard of it before, and we walked by and we were looking for something to eat. And I went to, and we saw it, and I was like, wow, but it's so crowded. So I said, no, it's okay. But we looked at other places. One way to know if the food is good, if it's crowded. So I said, the hell with that. Let's go back. That means the food is good. Man, I got that double smash burger, man. It was delicious, man. The best hamburger I've had in my 15 years in the Philippines. Well, anyway, so our last day in Cagayan de Oro, we go to a resort high above the mountains. And I order a hamburger, man. It's not done. It is not done. I never send anything back to the kitchen, even in America. You know, because you don't know what they're going to do to it. Okay, that would have been a good time for me to express myself, in my opinion, but I didn't do it. I held it in. I spent 399 pesos for a burger. Now the double smash burger only costs 209 pesos, about half the cost. But I didn't complain. He said, do men know they can have requirements and demands? Yeah. But see, here's what the doctor said about nice people. And the reason why we're so nice, she says, because we're desperate for approval. So they're often mistreated or taken advantage of. So nice people tend to do too much for those who don't deserve it and are easy prey for users. And what happens over here? Okay, this lady hit it. This is right on the button of what you're seeing over here, what you're seeing on these videos and hearing about. Because men come over here with too damn nice. So then you say, do we have requirements and demand? But because we're so desperate, she says, we're afraid to ask for what we want for fear of creating conflict. You know, it's all about avoiding conflict and confrontation. Okay? I'm just bringing up real life situations. We're just having a conversation. Okay, you got to become aware of it yourself when you get over here. You're going to see it if you're honest with yourself. I can see it in my actions. All I had to do was put my foot down and say, no, we're fine. And we'd have flew, we'd have been home. But I didn't want to, offend her, make her angry and everything, which I should have just did that. Same thing as I talked about on my video with my wife. If I'd have just put my foot down and said, no, you keep your ass here. We're married. We agreed to stay here. Fuck that damn visa. We'll get you another visa. She'd still be here. But I didn't. Oh, well, I'm being nice. Okay, I'll let her have her way. You know, we got to have that balance the guy was talking about earlier in the live stream. And then being firm and assertive creates that balance. Sometimes you got to be a hard ass. Sometimes you got to be a pain in the ass to create that balance. It's necessary in strong relationships, in real relationships, man. Your parents are a perfect example of that. They'll whoop your ass and then turn around and love you more than anybody else. It's that balance. But we don't have it over here. Hey, thank you, Joyce and Carrie. It's the Hot Sunshine Show. We love watching you from Canada. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I got a lot of friends and listeners, man, from Canada. He said, I'm officially 62 in November. Been in the Philippines twice in the past 3 years. Been in a relationship for 5 years. Ready to move to Dubai. Well, how are you, Mr. Nice Guy over here? And are you ready to admit it? That we're doing everything to stay on her good side. You know, it's one thing to put your best foot forward when you first meet, but damn, you keeping that damn thing forward for eternity? Man, you're going to have problems, man, eventually. What's up, Hollywood, baby? He said, in January, I've set rules about how our household will and won't do. Good luck with that. That's what the doctor said. Nice guys get hurt and used. It says, listen to this. This is what the doctor said. Nice people are desperate for approval, so they're often mistreated or taken advantage of. Then she says, nice people tend to do too much for those who don't deserve it. Imagine that. And are easy prey for users. Isn't that what you hear all the time? Hey, booby, looking sharp. This is all you hear about going on over here. It's because we're too nice. We don't put our foot down. We don't have any boundaries. They crossing we don't have any boundaries, so they're all over the place. They're all in your space. He says, are you friends with regular guy Tim K in the Philippines, commander, becoming Filipino? Regular guy, I know him a little bit. He stayed at my guest house. But the rest of them I don't. We're so spread out. And that's the problem. You know, but sometimes when you're out visiting, you'll run into certain people. Thank you, Eric Powell, for that super chat. He said, not all, but a lot of American men are losing in the West because they're simps. Then they go to the Philippines to make the same mistakes. I've also done it in Latin America. Yeah, you know, we try to use that simp word as a blanket for everything we do wrong. You know, why can't we just be firm and assertive like men are supposed to, like they expect men to be over here? Because I asked Merlin yesterday, I said, Merlin, what's the role of Filipino women in the household or in society? Well, basically in the household, she said to support the man, okay, to advise him, you know, and I looked it up and they said, you know, things are changing, but typically, you know, Filipino runs the house. She manages the money. The kids come to her, you know, when they need help with their schoolwork and educational advice. And when a non-family member needs help, they go to the woman. That's why they never come to you. Okay, she's like the manager of the house. But our mistake is, but let me finish. But she said the final decision is with the man. and he's the one who hands out the money. Okay, even though she's the treasurer and she's managing that. He says, what time is the travel? Thanks for the super chat. He said, the word no, my women know she easily be replaced. Yeah, that's easier said than done. How often do you put your foot down really over here? And you may be the exception with times it travels, but I doubt that very seriously. I see what goes on over here. We don't want to step on anybody's toes. We don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, man. And you're really cheating yourself and the other person. You got to stand for something. They're not even going to take you serious. When you see women over here and they're talking about disrespecting, when they talk about their women disrespecting them over here, that's why. Because we're pushovers. You can respect the people in the culture without being a damn doormat. He says, either I'm concerned and asshole or pushover, I can't get it right. I always treading. Well, it's about balance, knuckle game. And that's what it says. It says we need a balance. And being firm and assertive when we should creates that balance. Sometimes you got to be a pain in the ass to keep honest people honest. He said, hey, Calvin, but are they ready for that in the Philippines? They might think you're being too assertive, maybe. Should I just go to another place? Well, see, this is what I'm saying. I'm talking about when you get off the plane, Ron, they hand you that. Remember, you're in the Philippines. Okay, you're not going to change the Philippines. Okay, the Philippines will change you. And this is one way they change us. They make us into Mr. Nice Guys. Okay? So it's a decision you have to make. But yeah, you're not going to come over here and act like you do in the West. He said, cows and no sugar going. It's going good now. I fell off a little bit when I was on my 10-day vacation because it's hard to get the things I need when I'm on the road. But, it's nothing that I'm going to stop doing. There's something that I've sworn to really. And remember, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. I want to remind you, I haven't had a drink in over 26 years. May the 13th, 1998. But guess what? It took me 4 or 5 times to stay stopped. So I'm not beating up on myself or anything. But yeah, I'm still doing it. We're going to the gym today. That's never going to stop. Until I can basically rid myself of my dependence on sugar. Other than, sweets and, other than, what I want to say, fruits, He says, what time is the child preach? If you do, you lose your identity. Yeah, well, see, that's what it's all about. You do lose it's destruction of self. But you're coming into the Philippines where you're constantly reminded that you're a guest. To stay silent, don't voice your opinions, guys. You're saying one thing, but when you get over here, you're going to see you're not going to do all that. Okay, you have to be a Mr. Nice Guy. That's the choice you're making by coming over here. Okay, you're not going to act the way that you act in America. I'm sorry, you're not going to do it. They won't allow it. So you're going to get deported or killed or whatever it is. I'm having the conversation because I said there's a high price that you pay for being too nice over here. Okay. And so you have to make the decision. Is this a place I want to retire? Do I really want to give up myself? Because that's what they're talking about. Being agreeable and prioritizing the needs of others over your own, because you don't want to disappoint anybody. You don't want to offend them. You don't want to make them unhappy. Okay, he says in his book, not nice, is to stop people pleasing. And we big people pleasers over here, man. You can deny it all you want. I know what I'm seeing. With my own eyes, I know what I'm experiencing. I just try to have the conversation, some deeper conversations than some bullshit that's going on online. By now, you should know where to meet the nicest Philippines and where to meet them and all that other bullshit. Okay? Your pension is your pension. Okay? My budget's not going to help you any. But when it comes to things like this, where being a man, man, you got to be a man. And, you know, they kind of like cut you in half at the knees when you come over here for certain things. Okay, when it comes to certain things. Okay. And then, you know, a lot of guys come over here because they say, oh, my woman in America is confrontational, Western women. Well, that's what you want for real. You want that balance. You know, you don't want to be a pushover, because now you're creating what they call that codependency bullshit over here. You know, where everything's going to be okay as long as you continue to say yes and as long as she continues to say yes. Who wants to put up with that for the eternity of your relationship or your life over here? And really, one of the ways that you can lessen that is just don't get involved in a relationship. And we're not going to do it. So that's why I'm talking about it. But yeah, you're right, Golden Gate, destruction of self. We are not our authentic selves anymore. Nobody's nice 100% of the time, unless you're one of us and we come over here. We're not going to challenge anything over here. Okay? You're not really free. I used to say that, you know, but more will be revealed. Okay? He said, would you fly into Angeles City or Manila? Angeles. Okay, now that I know what I know. Okay? Because that brand new, you're actually flying into Clark. That brand new airport up there is all that. He said the trick is to know when to apply pressure and when to hold it back. It can be challenging. Well, it's always going to be challenging over here. If you live here, I love the chime. I'm talking about people who live here. Even when you visit here, you're going to have to put on the mask. You better not get angry over here like you get angry over there. Yeah, Manila is a monster. But, you know, it's not impossible. Okay? It's not impossible. You can't do it. But for somebody new, it is challenging. He says, Sonny, the only way anybody learns is through mistakes and pain. You can talk yourself blue in the face trying to tell them, but it's trial and error. I've been sober 35 years and living in the Philippines for 2. Yeah, that's true. We're just having a conversation, Sonny. That's all. You know, I'm a truth teller. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat everything. All my videos are not going to be sugarcoated. They're going to be real life. Guys don't realize this, that they go through a whole personality shift. You did too when you got over here. If you're honest with yourself and you being sober, you know we have to be honest with ourselves. You should our own self be true. That's what, you know, William Shakespeare, you know, and everybody, you know, quotes that. They don't quote the whole thing, but we do quote that. You know you've had a personality shift. You know you're kinder, gentler, sunny over here than you are in your own country. You have to be. You don't have no other choice. Okay? For your 2 years. Because you're constantly reminded you're only a guest here. You better not voice your opinion. Stay silent. Avoid any conflicts. Okay? That's true. This is the case. This is one of the parts, you know, I haven't got to the solutions yet. We're just talking about it. Because being Mr. Nice Guy will stunt your growth. You're going to stop growing. I see it all the time, man. Guys, they, you know, compromising their retirement, compromising their lives. only because, they don't want to offend anybody. They don't want to disappoint anybody. So, he said, start saying no when you should say no. You can't say no all the time, but sometimes, as it pertains to, she's Filipino rich now, has money changed her demands become different now, whether you realize it or not. Now she wants a little bit more. Where she sends her kids to school is a little bit different than when you weren't around. Well, I don't really know much about him. These new philosophers, man, I don't really um, pay much attention to, really. I like the old school stuff because it's really just the new school stuff is the old school stuff warmed over. But yeah, he's really, I know he earns a lot of money on YouTube and social media and all that because he did a video on that. But I don't really know enough about it. Well, I don't even know him. I'm just telling you from a 61-year-old's perspective. So is that a coincidence? Probably. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, he's very intelligent. He said, Cal, can we expect a collaboration with you and Tom Young? Nothing's off the table for me. I don't have any enemies over here. Okay, that's something you'd have to talk to him, like I said, you guys come over here with this immature high school stuff. You won't get to me. Okay. I don't know what video you watched. I don't need anybody. Okay. I can carry my own weight. Okay. He said, Calvin Sunshine Show, this is the nitty gritty vlog in the Philippines. You never sugarcoat the reality like some other vloggers in the Philippines. I've never done a video about anybody. But if you put my name in there, the juice for me, you immature high school clown, you're going to see people make videos about me all the time because they need me to carry their channel and other people like me. He said, do you speak Tagalog? I don't. I speak Bisaya, Gamay lang, meaning very little, or little only. But these guys on here riding grown men's nuts. Are you going to suck his dick? But, okay. Yeah, I speak a little bit of Bisaya. He says, Victory Shades Darker says, and I want you to come on the No Man Left Behind podcast because you're different in person than what you project online. If you project it online, how you are in person, because I know I've met you in person a few times. You're not the same. I can't feel the same 53 Shades Darker when I see your vlogs as when I talk to you in person. You're a lot more nittier, a lot more grittier, man. And people are really missing out. But I don't know how you're going to make that transition. But I want you on the No Man Left Behind podcast because I think I can bring that out just from our conversation that we will have. Because this guy is a great conversationalist. He knows a whole lot more than what he puts out there in the videos. You got to remember this guy's retired military, retired police officer. He ain't no joke. And he knows a lot about investing and different things like that. See, there's a whole lot that he brings to the table that he's not putting on his vlogs for some reason. He says, you have to change over here or you will find yourself on the next flight back to where you came from real quick. That's true. That mouth would definitely have to have some restraint on what you really want to say. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. So you transform into Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. I cannot, here's what I got right here. I can't say or do what I really feel. So I can't truly express myself. So am I free? Am I truly free? I'm not. Because he said, don't get too hard. Love on him, Cal. No, I mean, guys, they come over here on my live stream. He's a grown man, by the way. I don't know what he thinks. I'm not afraid of anybody. I don't know what video you watched. Those guys don't want to smoke with me, man, because remember, if you bring that stuff to me, I'm not going to bother anybody. But you bring it to me, there's a price you got to pay. Yeah, they guys, they want to ride his balls. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. If he gets a little bit more nitty and gritty, because how can you be a retired policeman and not have some stories to tell? Okay, just sub this channel. Yeah, okay. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. You can't complain. You have to be nice all the time, and that's impossible. So eventually those repressed feelings that you bottled up on the inside, they're going to eventually come to the surface, man. When are they going to come? What's up, TJ? What's up, Sperling? He's coming from the province now. He said winning, boy. So I take it that the Don Rickles approach won't work there. No, you better not, man. Hell, Don Rickles was no joke. He didn't care. Okay? But for anybody, he said, Cos, my man, glad you're still alive. Cos told me y'all took him out, man, and showed him the town. But for anybody new to the live stream, the topic is no more Mr. Nice Guy. The high price men pay for being too nice in the Philippines. And we pay a price. You do have a personality shift. You transform into Mr. Nice Guy when you get here. You don't have no choice. Once we arrive at the airport, we are given a Mr. Nice Guy mask. And we're expected to wear the mask for the entirety of our stay here. Hey, Colin B, thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. They asked me to come back, and I obliged, man, Yeah, he said y'all took him out, TJ. But we're constantly reminded we're only guests here. Okay, the other bloggers tell you that. Other experts will tell, don't complain. If you don't like it, go home, they'll say. You can't voice your opinion. You got to stay silent. You got to be a non-entity, a nobody, basically. And you're just not used to that. Okay? So you got to avoid all conflict, all confrontation, Don't step on anybody's toes. Don't offend anybody. If your food ain't right, okay, well, eat it or throw it in the garbage. But don't complain about it. And certainly don't ask for your money back. And that's a big change for most of us who come over here well in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, some of us. So it's a high price you're going to pay, man, the stress, man, of trying to keep that mentality over the course of years. That's probably why people don't last here. They say, I can't do it. Now they go out somewhere and they got to scream really, really loud. He said, nope. Sarcasm just doesn't work in the Philippines. Sometimes I forget that when talking to my wife and she gets confused. Yeah, angry. They don't understand our jokes. We don't understand theirs. But what is niceness? Just to keep it simple for us, it's just a willingness to behave in ways that are beneficial to another person at the cost of oneself. That's crazy, right? But that's what we do over here. We say, oh, we don't like Western women. They're too confrontational. Well, that's probably what you need. You need the highs and lows. You don't need this right here because that's not normal. A real relationship is like this, ups and downs, highs and lows. You get angry, you make up. You get angry, you get make up. You get disappointed. You know, it's an interweaving of the good times and the bad. But when you agreeing to every damn thing, you know, every damn thing, because you don't want to argue, you don't want her to leave, or you don't want to lose something, or you don't want to get deported. So you basically spend your fourth quarter in a self-imposed prison. You see what happens when people go off? It makes the news here. When foreigners, you know, act like foreigners, it makes the news here. Okay, when you know when somebody does something and pulls into your parking space in front of you, there was a guy down in Duval, road rage. Him and the jeepney driver came to blows. He said, if you go there solo and try to keep a low profile, you basically considered an outcast or loser. No, that's what they expect of you, really, is to keep a low profile. Okay, don't cause any discomfort. It's exactly what Aziz said. He said, no waves, no friction. Okay, if I please others, give them everything they want, keep a low profile, and don't ruffle feathers or create any discomfort, then others will like me, love me, and shower me with approval and anything else I want. Now, people, they're going to push back on this live stream. They're going to say, that's not me when I come over there. Yes, it is, because I see you over here. You don't cause any waves over here. And you say, well, you shouldn't. Well, how can you do that for any considerable period of time? It's not normal. It's not being a human being. I'm sorry, it's not. He said, Uncle, I got a fitness question. Do you eat sardines? I don't. And I think because my mother used to eat them and I didn't like them. He said, Cal, you going to buy new equipment for your podcast or change the guest into a guest house to the studio look? You read my mind, and I put this down. I forgot to mention it. But I've got a new iPhone. I ordered an iPhone that I'm upgrading my equipment. And Michael Beach Life gave me some suggestions because, you know, he got real live equipment for this dual mic set that's compatible with an iPhone. And yeah, I'm going to do some things, you know. But a podcast really, it doesn't have to do with, it doesn't have to be in a studio. I was watching the podcast with those football guys yesterday. They went to Indiana and they had Anthony, what's the guy's name? The quarterback that got drafted. I believe he was #1 draft pick, but he got hurt. But hell, they was just out on the football field. He said, at this stage in my life, I need peace, calm, and tranquility. Yeah, well, you're going to be able to get that, but not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day. Something's going to piss you off, Eric. This is what I'm saying. It's just life. It's human nature, man. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get angry. You're going to get skeptical. You're going to be happy, sad. And, you know, you're going to run all the emotional gamut. Okay, but you're not going to be nice all the damn time. He said, niceness is always taken for weakness, which is a damn shame. Stay focused, Brother Cal. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Yeah, see, there's a difference between being nice and being kind or compassionate. That's a whole different subject. When you're being nice, man, you know, it's phony. It's fake. It's not real. Niceness, man, You're prioritizing others over yourself. You know, no self-preservation. That's foolishness. And you see it all the time over here, man. They do it just for the sake of a woman, for having a girlfriend, you know, and they done fallen in love, whether they pussy whoop, whatever it is, and they just give her away. She runs over top of them without even trying. They just lay down, okay? And he said, I'm constantly a threat of being bodied in the Philippines. I could stand to be more low profile and accepting. He said, no, I'm making a low profile joke. Yeah. We're all pretty low key here. And it's really uncharacteristic. Some guys are like that anyway. Some guys are nice guys over in their country and they just bring it over here. But women here, they expect the man to be firm and assertive sometimes. Because they're going to eventually, they're going to resent you for being weak like that. Because they're not going to know what you stand for. If you're always so nice to everybody, you want everybody to like you. And you're going to be broke, by the way. He said, sunshine, the maturity level is a different game over here, not to mention the age gap in certain situations. Yeah, of all the other things we got to deal with in these relationships. These aren't normal relationships. These are abnormal relationships in every way. When you find one that works for you, man, you should be happy. But then you come over here and you add all this other stuff to it. What happened? What you saying?
No, I'm looking for the spray for the ants.
That's what I'm saying. So we need a spray. Did we buy it?
No, the one that was Terry sent
Is
us.
that for ants or is that for mosquitoes?
Everything.
It's all in there, honey. It's about 6 of them in there. If not, it's in the other cabinet in the kitchen. He said, sometimes my wife will say, you're so mean. I don't know. I'm just saying that we very seldom do you see any. It's always her tampon. That's what you always hear about. Because she's at home. Okay? She doesn't have to be nice. Even though they wear a nice, a Mr. Nice Guy mask too. Because everybody is not nice all the time over here. So they got the mask on too over here. He said that Mike that Beach of Life has is on point. I may have to purchase that same one. That shirt clip Mike is horrible. Yeah, he basically, that's what that is, but he's got it stuck down in another bigger mic. He said, will you be continuing the man talk uploads on Friday? I know you back on live, but don't get away from that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I got Blizzard Abroad, then I've got 53 Shades Darker lined up. Anybody that wants to come on there, man. He said, I match the energy of my surroundings. I act crazy in the Philippines because all the people around me are driving me crazy. I'm an asshole in New York because everyone else is. I'm chill and reasonable in Japan because that's the vibe. Well, that's basically what I'm talking about, TJ. We change when we come over here. I'm not the same guy in America as I am over here because I can't be. And this is something that you have to come to grips with, come to terms with, if you want to live here. You got to suppress a whole lot of your authentic self. Some people can't do it, so they leave. Because, one thing that we want to do, we want to, you hear how I'm easy to get along with, right? I'm non-confrontational. But disagreements, this is what Charlie Mitchell says. He said, disagreements are part of relationships, and real relationships have their ups and downs. But over here, you just don't see it. The man and the woman, they get along so well. And you wonder why. it's because of him. The woman, you always hear about, oh, her tampon. She's angry with me. But you never hear about you getting angry. But here's what he says, how to fix some of that. He says, your authentic self involves being seen. That means the flaws and all. And being loved, not in spite of, but because of them. This is Charlie Mitchell saying this. He says, surround yourself with supportive people who love and accept you for who you are. See, we never really know people here because there's always some type of ulterior motive involved. See? So you have to find out the expats who, who have no skins in the game, who don't need you for anything to surround yourself with, like we did at the meet and greet. That's who you want to surround yourself with. Because there's always an ulterior motive with the woman you with. No matter what she tells you, there's always an ulterior motive. And then the same with you. You got an ulterior motive for being so damn nice. What's up, man? Awards, what did I miss? Well, we're just talking about no more Mr. Nice Guy. The high price men pay for being too nice in the Philippines. We're just too damn nice over here, man. And it's impossible. It's phony. It's fake. Okay, we're putting on this charade. It's not who you really are. There's no way that you can go years and years without ever having an argument. I used to brag about that. Me and my wife, we never have an argument. Yeah, because I was Mr. Nice Guy. I'm trying to avoid confrontation and conflict and all that and giving her way and, trying to avoid arguments and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm walking on pins and needles and eggshells. That's no way to live, though. You can't be happy. You can't sustain your happiness like that. I'm just telling you. And people are going to push back and they're going to say that it's not them. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience says, I had to change the way I verbally or direct, honestly, dealt with people after coming here. My wife said Americans talk so blunt to people that it hurts badly. Thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. We have to do a 180, guys, when we get here. And some people can do it and some people can't. But when you suppress all that stuff, because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, man. It's not something that you can do overnight. And see, just like Pumpkin Joe said, he said, my wife said Americans talk so blunt to people that it hurts badly, and we don't want to hurt anybody. So we're not our authentic self. So he's not being his authentic self. Because if I go to the car lot and they put on 4 bad tires, you're going to hear it from me. But over here, it's like, oh, it's no big deal. Just go ahead and change them or whatever it is. And you're going about your damn business. They don't get the 411. We hold back a lot over here, man. We suppress it. And eventually, those suppressed feelings are going to come out, man. The pressure builds up. And you explode. I used to say it was every 6 months it happened to me because of the cultural differences. No, it was because I'm being too nice. He said, glad to have you back on the live. My cousin and I had a great time at the meet and greet and enjoyed the high quality people we met. Hey, thanks, man. Sam's 808 Metal Detective. It was a great live, and even though, people always going to have something negative to say. Oh, it was only black people there. Well, they're the only ones that showed up. What am I supposed to do? Everybody's invited. As a matter of fact, you can ask Merlin. I was sitting right next to a white guy on the plane, and I invited him. Gave him the address and everything. He just didn't come. But when I go to those meet and greets in Dumageddon, there's number of white guys there. They don't say, oh, there's a number of white guys there. Y'all immature, man, and that's ignorant. My meet and greets are open to everybody. But I'm not going to turn anybody away. He said, I get out more once I get the business of getting a house built. He said, greetings, Cal from Bacolod. My golden rule is to never offer opinions on Philippine politics. Otherwise, I tell it how it is. That being said, there's a way of doing things. Yeah, you know, this is one of the solutions I have. That you can disagree respectfully. Okay, you can have a difference of opinion respectfully. But we just lay all the way down. And people are not going to admit it, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Okay, I had to see it in myself first. I mean, there's no resistance. And it does help when you at least got it in your house. He says, I'm authentic with my wife, and she's learned to be the same. It's like two comedians roasting each other, and we laugh about it. Because when you come outside that house, man, you know, if you got it there, that's a start. Because once you come outside that house, man, you somebody totally different. You're walking on eggshells, man. That's why I don't drive here. You know, for other reasons, you know, other than I don't understand the driving patterns. You know, a lot of the places, go to Dumageddon, there's no stop lights in Dumageddon, guys. Okay, that's an expat alley. 400,000 people, 450,000 people come in and out of that city on a 24-hour basis. There are no stop lights. I don't even think I've seen any stop signs. Okay? So you know there's going to be some road rage with me, but Garrett Wilson's father, Kenny Wilson, he said it. Told him, you know, because he knows his son's a star, and he's going to be surrounded with everybody telling him how great he is and how wonderful he is. He said, but you always need one truth teller around you that's going to tell you how it really is. It's going to tell you stuff you don't want to hear, but it's going to help you. He said, one truth teller is worth 50 yes men. Yes men always want something. That's why when you get over here and the people here have on that Mr. Nice Guy mask, they're never going to disagree with you. They're never going to make you angry. So you don't have a truth teller around you. I'm the truth teller. Because you know good and well, her family's not going to be the truth teller. They're not going to dare offend you either. Okay? I say anything that's going to hurt your feelings. But truth tellers, he said, risk it all because they love you. They care about you. You have to have one truth teller around you, man, to tell you that stuff that nobody else is going to tell you. If you just listen to a lot of these vloggers and the people that's around you over here, your woman, number one, and her family and friends, man, you're surrounded by yes men. Yeah, that's right. You need doses of that. We can't handle the 100% truth, but you need doses of that. And that's what he was telling his son. Gave him a great, man. It sent chills when I was like, damn, this guy, he's talking to his own son. He's giving him real life advice right there. Okay. You know, you're famous now. You got all this money and everything, all these people around you. They're telling you how wonderful you are. You better get somebody in your camp that's going to call you on your bullshit. Just imagine if that guy had somebody, the Raider wide receiver, that was going so many miles an hour and killed the girl. What was his name? He gave what they give him 30 years or something, 9 to 30 years or something. He got off easy, really. Killed that girl. He's drunk, driving 100 something. See, he's surrounded by yes men. Even that woman. She should have told him, man, give me them keys. Here you are. You got millions of dollars, man. Get you a designated driver. But he's not surrounded by people who are going to tell him that. He said they misinterpret everything we say, which can be very frustrating, bro. I deal with that all the time here in the desert. It's true. So we won't say anything at all. There's a guy here, Gail, G5 family. Y'all know Gail. He's been on my panel many times. He said, Calvin, I don't even come out. And I was like, why? He said, because I get so frustrated. He says, nobody has any authority here. He goes, he was the one that said he went and they gave him the wrong stars. And he said, just everywhere I go, he said, I get frustrated and it starts coming out. And my wife gets angry with me about it. He said, so I don't even come out because it's hard for him to do that 180. But he's trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. But he told me that right to my face. He said, I don't even come out. That's why I don't come out, Cal. I can't deal with it. Like I can deal with it. Like everybody else just about can deal with it. He says, pooping while standing, says, I'm late, but Dr. Robert Glover's book is something every young man should read, and every man interested in getting married should spend 2 days in family court. Yeah, rugs. See, if somebody would have just pulled his coattails and tell him stuff he didn't want to hear, like Ninja, good and down well, you ain't got no business behind that wheel. Or maybe saw him drinking, like, hey man, let me drive you home. No, he got all that money and all that fame. They let him do what he wanted to do, and now he's sitting in prison. Career over, probably gonna be broke. Yeah. What's up, Mark? He said, what's up, brother Cal and Sunshine Shoulders family? He said that crash happened here in Vegas. Henry Ruggs sentenced to at least 3 years. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. He got off easy. But his whole career is ruined. He said the American nightmare said pooping while standing. Yeah, that's a whole different subject. But you're right. We need to do more research into this marriage than just having pussy on demand. That's basically why men get married. I mean, for a lot of other reasons, but we don't know enough about the laws concerning surrounding marriage. We don't even keep our vows. You don't even remember your vows unless you wrote them yourself, and you still forgot them. But here's some more stuff that he said you can do. This is coming from, and I put the link in the video I made earlier. He said, focus on your own needs and wants. And this is important. He said it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. Is that what we were talking about, Golden Gate, self-preservation? But we don't practice that when we come over here. I've talked about that long time ago. Why? I don't know. We're trying so hard to impress women over here. I said, my bad. I thought you were talking about Dr. Robert Glover's book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. No, we're talking about just No More Mr. Nice Guy in particular, but I was quoting from Aziz Pura's book, where he was saying that he got a book, Not Nice. And he says, where is it? Stop people pleasing, staying silent and feeling guilty, and start speaking up saying no, asking boldly, being yourself. And he was talking about, being nice at its core is about being liked by others, by making everything smooth. He says no waves, no friction. He said it's based on this woefully inaccurate theory. If I please others, give them everything they want, keep a low profile, and don't ruffle feathers or cause any discomfort, he said, then others will like me, love me, and shower me with approval and everything I want. See, that's what happens when guys come to the Philippines. We want all that approval because we're not getting it at home. Because a lot of guys, even in this passport bro genre, man, it's become all about finding a woman. And I'm like, why? Isn't there anything else attractive about traveling besides a woman? But they made it all about that. And so you have to make videos like this to be like, dude, be careful what you wish for, because it's more my retirement, especially me, I'm 61, I'm in the fourth quarter. It's got to be about me sometimes. Just like he said, I got to focus on my needs. I'd be damn, I spent 61 years putting everybody else's needs in front of mine. Now it's time for me. Yeah, you're right. It has. This is what it's all about. It's like every video you see, and guys are traveling around talking about whether they like black men or not. Who cares? It doesn't offend me. That women who, most of these places we go, the women don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. So I'm not offended because they don't like me. Okay? I'm actually happy, that they don't. But they made it all about the woman. So guess what? You got to have these type of discussions. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You got to be firm. You got to be assertive. You got to put your foot down. If I did, I wouldn't have went through this hellacious road trip I just made. All to avoid a 50-minute flight. Hey, Levon White, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Cal, the Mr. Nice Guy has been kicking and punching me in the U.S. the last 2 years. I burned my Mr. Nice Guy mask. Yeah, definitely don't allow yes men to undermine me or under me. Finally put Ingram's self first. Is that what you're saying? Or put yourself first? Well, you're right. You're on the right track, man. Just wanting to be accepted. That's all we're looking for is acceptance, man. That's shallow, man. At the expense of your authentic self. You can't be who you are. So am I free? I got to take that back. I'm safe over here, but I'm not truly free because I can't express myself. Napoleon Hill said, one of the true riches of life is self-expression. Well, I don't have that here. I've got self-suppression is what I've got. Okay, so I'm not truly free over here. Eric Smith says, I traveled to Vietnam for the lower cost of living. That was my primary reason to go there. The women was a bonus. It was surprising to see them chasing me. Yeah, I think it should always be a bonus. My mother told me when I was 8 years old, if you take care of yourself and get your shit together, this was her words. That's how my mother spoke. She said, a woman is the least of your worries. It's the least thing you have to worry about. And I've always remembered that. But we're looking for the outside validation. That's why the men flock to the Philippines. Okay, they know that their pensions can get them a woman who's going to shower them with this fake attention. But that's what they want. It validates them. They got the trophy wife or the trophy girlfriend, and you see it. That's all they do. They post it. They want you to see it. So, they compromise themselves. They compromise their retirement. They compromise their fourth quarter for a woman. And I'm just saying, guys, it's too high of a price to pay. That's why the video, that's why I'm talking about it now. You pay a high damn price for that. He says, I've shared to some about my plans to expat and move to Southeast Asia. All have assumed I'm here to chase P. Sleeve. Furthest from the truth. I want to go where the culture is kind. People are pleasant. Yeah, but they wear the Mr. Nice Guy mask too. But I like the culture over here. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy. But it's going on deaf ears. I had to recognize it in myself before I could call it out to anybody else. Because everywhere I go, in every house is like a perfect household. I'm like, man, something ain't right here. And I'm always talking about how men do the craziest stuff over here because we're people pleasing. That's part of being a nice guy and putting people's needs above your own. That's why they go broke. How can you go broke over here if, like Eric Smith said, the cost of living over here is so much less than what it is in your country? Because you're over here prioritizing others over yourself. That's what you're doing. You're spending more money on them than you're spending on yourself. That's how you're going broke. Yeah, I understood, Levon. Thank you, brother. But that's how else can you go broke in a place where the cost of living is so much less than where you come from? Hey, Eric, thanks for that super chat. He says, I wish all the members on here the best of luck and prosperity. Thank you, brother. Yeah, see, that's an article that I read, but I didn't put any of that information in here. It's a big red flag when somebody's nice all the time. You got to wonder what's behind that. What's the motive? And our motive is we're chasing the pussy. I'm sorry, that's what we're chasing. You know, we don't want to do anything to offend the woman over here. And we're going to lose the best thing we've ever had. He says, I was a Mr. Nice Guy in my marriage, put her on a pedestal, and she treated me like a peasant, gave up my home and tens of thousands of dollars to try to make her happy. No more. Lesson learned in 2010. Well, we were talking about that the other day. Guy sent me an article where it says, you know, money can't make a woman happy. And he gave me an example of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and I can't think of the guy's name, but for the Apple guy, not Apple, the Microsoft guy, Bill Gates. Their wives left them despite the billions of dollars they had. It was talking about, how we try to buy women, how we try to buy love and all of that. And it doesn't work. They want much more than that. But that's exactly what we do when we come over here. We think, okay, we're going to get them with our pension. And then they'll argue with you that the woman doesn't want their money. But they know that's their calling card. They know that's what gets them in the door to begin with. And I was telling the guy that sent me the message, I said, that's fine. I said, but the circumstances is different. Those women are already rich. They're Western women. The circumstances over here are different. They want the money. And they're going to leave as long as that money is flowing. But men will argue with you and say, my woman's not with me for my money. But that's why you're here. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a chance in hell of dealing with a younger, attractive woman. He says, Emmett Smith and Tom Brady, along with Will Smith, all suffer from the same thing. Women, no one can satisfy. Well, that's what I saw something of all places, Facebook, and it's like, you know, God gave women everything, gave them a behind, but now they got the BBL, gave them good eyesight, now they got the contacts, and all the other stuff, gave them hair, now they got weaves and all. They said, God can't satisfy a woman. What makes you think you can? But we're our own problem. And if we can just get out of our own way, if we just act like men, we're going to be halfway there. We're going to be okay. But we won't do it. That's why I asked Marilyn. I said, well, what's the role of the woman over here? She said to support the man, to advise the man. You know, the woman manages the house. This is what she said. And I even Googled it. You know, things are changing. You know, when you come to the Philippines, one thing you're going to notice is the big role that women play in politics, business, the whole 9 yards. You're going to see them. They're running everything. But when it comes to the household, the man has the final say. But if you're going to just come over here and lay down, eventually she's going to resent you for being weak. She don't know what you stand for. She don't know who you are because she's never seen you mad. She's never seen you angry, never seen you frustrated. She's only seen you nice. Who wants to be around a nice fucker every damn day? I don't, because you know something's not right. Hey, Jerry says it's pretty difficult not to realize how messed up this place is. If your primary motivation for coming here is finding love, you'll get taken apart in all likelihood. That's right, and that's what happens. What did the doctor say? This is a woman now. She's hitting us over the head. But she's talking about men and women, really. But she said nice people are desperate for approval. So they're often mistreated or taken advantage of. It said nice people tend to do too much for those who don't deserve it and are easy prey for users. Absolutely. And that's what we're doing. We're coming over here. They give us that mask. Some of us put it on before we even get here. And we're Mr. Perfect for the woman because we don't want to do anything to upset her. Just lay here with me. Just stay beside me. Okay? And I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. Every video out there is about all the tempo, about her getting angry. Not you, because she doesn't have to be Mr. Nice Guy all the time because she's at home. She understands the culture and everything, the do's and don'ts, what she can get away with and what she can't. You don't know a damn thing. All you looking for is the nappy dugout. Blizzard abroad said, this is why I say we are our biggest problem. We put ourselves in these situations, then blame the women. Go overseas and do the same thing without changing ourselves first. Absolutely, 100% correct. How many times have we talked about that on this live stream? We always blame the woman. Well, if the woman's the problem over there, why are you coming over here chasing women? The only thing that's different is the circumstances, but the woman's going to be the same. You still got to be the man, and then they'll blame it on the Filipino, knowing good and well it's not her fault. She scammed me. No, you gave the woman your money. Woman ain't scammed you. It's not in them to scam you. If they ask you for money and you give it to them and then they don't do what you expect them to do or what they promised to do, it's not a scam because you've got ulterior motives. Yeah, the nappy dugout, that's what we're chasing. And if that's all you want, that's all you're going to get. And that's a high price for that. It's a high price for that. Okay? But here's what she said. Here's what nice people, being Mr. Nice Guy, does. Because remember, we can't express ourselves. We suppress everything. We hold all that in. You know, eventually you become resentful. You start agreeing to shit you really don't want to do. Okay, but she said holding back needs, feelings, and opinions leads to resentment and frustration. They suppress anything negative. Eventually, the pressure builds up, and at some point, you explode emotionally. See? And this used to be what I was telling y'all about. Like every 6 months over here, I blow my top. But I was attributing it to the culture over here. No, it's these suppressed feelings, these repressed feelings that I'm pressing down inside of me because I'm not trying to cause any conflict. He says the straight dugout over here is they can prick you sometimes. Yeah, but I just told Merlin let it grow, because a lot of women they'll cut it, and when it starts growing back, it can be a problem. Yeah, he said, in my opinion, too many passport bros think they can go overseas and find a different woman, never realizing the operating system is all the same. Yeah, it's just the circumstances are different. You better work on yourself. You better get yourself together. I told you, my mother told me that when I was 8. I never forgot it. And it's true. Those are the guys who don't struggle. They've got their shit in order. A woman's the last thing they worry about, because I'm gonna tell you, man, living with somebody is difficult. Certainly being married to somebody is difficult. Levon, thanks for that super chat. He said that after 18, I believe every woman was with me for money. Had I come to the Philippines before your channel, I would have ruined my life. Yeah, man, and we still do it. Just like the guy Sonny came on here and he said, you can talk to you blue in the face. He said, they're not going to listen. He said, it's trial and error, pain, and it's sad, but it's true. But at some point, if somebody told me, Cal, don't walk across the street, and there's a 50% chance that you're going to get run over. Or don't go in that house that, they saved me from the burning house. And then if I turn around and run back in the burning house, then hell, you can't blame the people that rescued me. I got to take some type of responsibility. And we're not taking any responsibility. Many men that I've run into over here, myself included when I first got here, we were the problem. We are the problem, but we always want to blame it on the woman. He said, you can go broke in the West being too nice. Balance always in everything you do is the answer to a happy life. I was just getting ready to repeat that. We need a balance. And being firm and assertive creates that balance. Steve? But that's why men go broke over here being Mr. Nice Guy. Financing businesses that are not going to work here. She does not have any business experience. She doesn't have a business management degree. She's never owned a business before. It's just that, okay, I want to please her. That's what the man said. If I could just please everybody, give them what they want, keep a low profile, don't ruffle feathers or cause any discomfort, I'm going to be okay. And this is what we do, man. I promise you that's what we do. And it causes you problems after a while. He said, stubble. Yeah. He said, I never want my wife to see me get mad. She would be afraid of the monster that can come out of me. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You're suppressing that, Frank. And, but it's okay, though. According to the experts, according to human nature, it's okay. You need that balance. Okay, you're going to upset her. You're going to scare her, but then you're going to make up. You're going to disappoint her, then you're going to impress her. Okay, you're going to make her angry, then you make up. All that is part of a real relationship, building a bond. Because real relationships are like this. This bullshit we doing over here is like this. You can't do it. It's impossible. that's unnatural, and we're trying to do something against the laws of nature. And then we want to wonder why it fails. That's why it fails. Okay? He finally says, take off the mask and step into your authenticity. Don't settle for acceptance when what you desire and deserve is a real relationships. I'm not just talking about with a woman. I'm talking about any of your relationships, your friendships, your work relationships. If you being this Mr. Nice Guy and you always taking the path of least resistance, man, it's going to blow up on you, man. It's not going to work. It's going to become toxic. People are going to take advantage of you. Hey, Michael Alexander, thanks for stopping by. He says the amount of PDFs from the U.S. getting caught by the Bureau of Immigration in the Philippines is crazy. We're not all the same. The message is not for everybody. Yeah. But see, now that they've got that partnership where, you know, they're looking at the, what do they call it, sex offenders list? That's where the Philippines is getting their, you know, their information from the government. You can't get over here, man. But they try. He said, whether you're married or just dating, every relationship with a female is transactional. If you believe it's based on a man's needs, you're wrong. It's based on female emotions. Well, if we know all this stuff, then why do we keep running into a brick wall? Is that manly behavior? I mean, what is that if we're supposed to be so intelligent? Is that something innate in us? Okay, that we know what we're getting into, but we get into it anyway. It's like you intentionally step into a pile of shit. You're not even trying to avoid it. You just step in it. He said, Frank, when you eat her fried rice, you said you love it. It will put a smile on your face. I seen the video of my fried rice. But I don't know if anybody would want that type of relationship. After a while, it gets tiring. It gets heavy. And it gets old. It's just like it says right here, that stress overload. It said constantly putting others first while neglecting your own needs triggers a chronic stress response, leading to burnout and emotional exhaustion. It's going to happen if you're honest. You know, I'm telling you what happens to us over here. And I talk about it in the Philippines because that's where I am. We lay down. We lay down. We take the path of least resistance. No arguing, no offending, no nothing. Just give our way. And it's not a good thing, man, eventually. It's unnatural. And it comes at a price, your physical and mental health. So if that's what you want to do, remember I did how many videos I have to do where I talk about you have to be better over here than you were at home, not worse. And then, you know, I make videos, they still push back on it when I say, you know, this is why you're not going to make it in the Philippines. They think I just be on here talking like I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about when I make a vlog because it's coming out of my experience. It's tough over here. It's tough in any country where you really don't have free speech, where you really don't have self-expression, which is one of the true riches of life. Man, when they take that away from you, you're locked up for real. You can't be who you really are. You know, that's why I go around a lot of foreigners, and I like it when I go around a lot of foreigners because I can be myself. I can let out emotions and talk about stuff that I could never do even in my own house. First of all, they're not going to understand it. They're going to get, you know, offended. So is this the way that I want to live my fourth quarter? I don't know. More is being revealed. It's like, maybe I don't want to compromise my retirement. You know, maybe when I, do the pros and cons, that's going to weigh heavy, man. I can't be myself. I got to pretend to be somebody else. Hey, Sam, thank you for that super sticker. Yeah, we had a good time at the meet and greet. Is that that's a high price to pay. Yeah, I saw that Olympic controversy. Now they even got women coming out defending. I mean, just pull the woman's pants down. Is it a woman or not? I mean, what are you hiding? I mean, there's somebody that's seen the woman. They saying, oh, she was born a woman. Well, just show it to the people that can make that decision. All that, what they call that when you talk, then you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I mean, just but if it's a man, if you got a man up there, which that looks like a man to me, fighting those women like that, it's a shame. Isaiah Allen said, Cal, do you think foreigners begin to act nice and not how they normally behave due to adopting to the saving face culture? There, I fear it may lead to an unintended misunderstanding, bad situation. All the above. Whatever it is, you change. And they give you that mask and they expect you to act accordingly for the entirety of your stay here. Okay? You do a 180. If something offends you or upsets you, you don't let them know. You stuff that down inside of you. Well, you keep on doing that and let that happen for about 6 months, it's going to eventually leak out. Somebody's going to pay the price for that, Isaiah. That's all I'm saying. You're constantly reminded, Isaiah, that you're just a guest over here, that you have no voice. You cannot, say what you want to say. You can't do what you want to do. You can't voice your opinions. If you complain, then go home. That's it. You either have, if you don't like it, then go home. But don't complain. Avoid conflict. That's why I don't go back and play tennis anymore. Okay? Because I learned early on, I'm like, man, a lot of times, when you're in sports, when you're playing sports, your true self comes out, that competitiveness, you get excited, you get emotional, your will to win shows up, man, and it supersedes all that bullshit. They don't miss the night guy. I'm going for the juggler. And it got me in trouble before. Yeah, that's one of the problems, Frank. You hit it on the nose. That's what I said. We don't want to disappoint anybody, so we act like Mr. Nice Guy. But guess what? You can't make everybody happy. You can't please everybody. But we don't get that memo, or we get it too late. I see us doing the same. I mean, we do some insane stuff over here that you would never do at home, simply because we don't want to make her unhappy, or we don't want to upset her. He said, Cal, did you hear that Audrey from Love Crossing Borders had 5 YouTube channels canceled in one day because he did an action review on one of the channels about the Donald Trump shooting? I don't know who this is you're talking about. Action review. Hey, Ruby, how you doing? Welcome back. I see you on that other channel all the time. I was like, I wonder what happened to Ruby. Why she stopped coming back here? Yeah, we do a 180 over here. We become somebody else over here. And it's hard for some people to maintain that. It's hard for me, really. That's why I'm going to eventually make a decision, that's why my whole channel, that's why, people found it so easy to come after me, because they knew that some of the things I was saying, if they put it in front of Filipino people, they was hoping to incite anger in them. See, I don't want to be in a place like that. If I was in America saying the stuff I say, nobody would even listen. It's nothing. But over here, it's a big deal. You got to watch what you say. And I just don't know if I want to live the rest of my life like that, even if I didn't have a YouTube channel. I mean, it's just something that, as time goes on, more is revealed. And you're like, well, I got to weigh this up. As much as I like it here, culture, the natural beauty. And for the most part, yeah, even though I know the people are wearing that Mr. Nice Guy mask too, for the most part, I feel welcome and I feel safe, but, I want to be myself, man, and I just can't be myself here. And I'm able to admit it. He said, how's your camera? Did the dog damage it? Luckily, it didn't. That was Blackie. Somebody wants Blackie too. I don't know if they're going to give him to him or not, but he ran and hit it. And knocked it over. But I'm getting ready to get. What are you cooking in there? Okay. I ordered an iPhone. It hasn't got here yet. And then, I'm going to upgrade it, because what happens is when you put some of these phones on a gimbal, it's almost like, remember how you used to connect cable to your television? Then when you take the cable out, the picture's never good anymore. Well, that's what happens when you put your phone, when you connect it to a gimbal. It gets that in. I don't like that. I just think my viewers deserve better. Okay, he's a vlogger in Cali. Hey, Levon, thanks for that super chat. He says, I'm gone from thinking marriage to dreading the thought of ever being married again. I want to feel free in my space. Have to be able to get out a big yell when needed. Yeah, see, that's what I was just talking about. You're going to have that, where you can just go off, man, because that's what human beings do, and then make up and maybe do it again, make up and create that bond, create that real relationship. Because a lot of relationships over here, they're shallow. Anything, y'all heard me talk about it. Anything can destroy them, just the smallest little thing. And that's because everybody's got on the Mr. Nice Guy mask. I mean, you can get in the smallest argument over here and it'll be over with. All that you invested, all the time, money, effort, everything, it's gone just like that. It's really, really easy, man, because these relationships are very shallow, because we're afraid of offending each other. We're afraid of making each other mad, upsetting each other. But I want to thank y'all, man, just, for joining me today with this conversation. I'm going back to my regular routine, the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, because y'all asked for it. And then, and this is your channel. I wouldn't even be on here if it wasn't for y'all. I'm not confused about that. And I just want to have thought-provoking conversations, man, to make you think. It goes a little bit deeper than a woman and the cost of living and all of that. Just shallow stuff that we talk about on here. Are you willing to give up your free speech and your self-expression and your authentic self by living here in the Philippines? This is the question I want to ask you. Or is that too high of a price to pay? Most people don't even realize they're giving all that up. If I don't bring it up or somebody else brings it up, you have to become aware that you're wearing this mask. But all you have to do is be honest with yourself and look back and be like, why am I playing it so safe over here? I'm so agreeable. I'm avoiding conflicts, arguments, and everything. And then you'll know you're Mr. Nice Guy over here. And you're constantly being reminded of how sensitive people are. Well, hell, I'm sensitive. Don't my feelings matter too? And I'm only a guest. And I can't complain. I can't do all the stuff that human beings do over here. I can't do over here. I've got to be this unnatural man now. And it's hard to do. I don't want to pay that price, man. This is something I'm going to have to think about. So thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Show. Go watch that video, man. Think about that, man. You know, is the price of a relationship a woman? Are you willing to pay that big of a price for that? Because some of y'all don't care. You say, I don't care, but it doesn't matter whether you care or not. It's killing you. The pressure's building up inside of you. Okay, when somebody cuts you off in traffic and that's all you got to do is sit there, you can't, throw up the middle finger and say, you stupid bastard and all that stuff like that. Just the smallest little stuff like that you can't do. You got to suck that up. And pretty soon you have a damn heart attack. How many people have died over here heart attacks? And we blame it on smoking and eating and all that shit. We don't blame it on the stress they going. He said expats have to be watchful about Filipino sensibilities. That's right. But what about Filipinos? Don't they have to be watchful about our sensibilities? But see, we're in the Philippines, Ruby, so you're making a great point. That's the whole point of the vlog. She says, could be a big challenge for most, but it's the environment you have to live with. Yeah, if you make that choice to do it. But even if you come over here on vacation, you got to put that heavy, cumbersome mask on. That's a big difference. It's a big difference. My whole conversation is different. Okay? I want to say a whole lot of things. I want to talk about deeper subjects and more things that could really affect you over here. I can't do it because it'll be misinterpreted as I'm putting down the country and all that stuff, So that's what I'm saying. I can't fully express myself. None of your business. That's the big difference. Where I can at home. And you get very little pushback, really, because it's so much going on over there, So I got to do a 180 over here. I've got to transform into Mr. Nice Guy over here. And it's tough. And that's why I want to have the conversation with y'all. To let you know how tough it is. It's not easy. And a lot of these places, when you go to, they won't tell you that. You got to do that in Thailand. They've got a kingdom over there. Certain things you can't say over there. You can't say on your vlogs. You can't even talk about. So you basically just got to follow rule number 1 at all times. Alpina R says, I'm married now. If it ever goes sour, I never do it again. He said, be yourself and treat others like you would like to be treated. Yeah, that's good advice, but you're in a whole different place, man. The rules are different here, Dean. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how saintly you are, Dean. You're going to get angry, frustrated, okay, disappointed. Okay, something's not going to be to your liking. That's just being a human being. So when that stuff happens over here, when it arises over here, you can't do anything about it. You can remove yourself. But that's what I'm talking about on this vlog. We're always going to I'm going to treat people the way they want to be treated, not the way I want to be treated. He said Philippines ain't for uh, the faint-hearted. He said, Cal, you're in your 60s. My only problem with your challenge, you only get girlfriends that are based on money. The dollar stretch is there. Other than that, you wouldn't get any. Well, I don't have a problem with that. You agreeing with me, okay? I mean, why should I care about that? Why should that matter to me? Okay, because any woman, the guy came on here and said it, if you look back, Larry Mills, all of the relationships are transactional. Unless you, even they like you because you're a celebrity, because you got money. Okay, if they get with you forever, how long, they're going to enjoy a standard of living that I used to. It's always about that. Okay, at some point. Okay, and if you're fortunate enough, you're going to be in your 60s. Okay, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm not going to argue with you. You must be new to my channel, because I tell it like it is. I know exactly what the initial attraction is. But guess what, Larry? You never asked me what I want. You always talking about why women want me. Why do you think I want a young, attractive woman? Okay, all right, it's a two-way street now. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. You young guys are the ones, y'all get caught up in all that stuff. It's more, okay, about moving overseas and traveling and seeing the world than women, Larry. This is what has messed up this passport bro genre, the whole movement. Y'all made it about women. I don't give a damn. Well, what should I care about that? Okay? Now, this isn't Geechee line. Now, this is Larry Mills, he says. That's not the real Geechee line either. Yeah, I said it so many times. I mean, I don't know. He says, I'm not your typical Filipino. I grew up with a modern family, encouraging us to express ourselves and ideas at a very young age. Be upfront and honest with me, and I'll be the same to you. You know, where do you live? Do you live here, Ruby? We're just talking about society in general over here, because you're not going to change the Philippines. Okay? You're not going to change the Philippines. But the Philippines would change you. And it's changed me. I'm not as outspoken as I am for real. I'm very outspoken. But over here, I can't be outspoken. I'm sorry. Because I got to play by the rules that are over here. So at least know the rules where you're going. But guys like Larry Mills and all those guys, they get on here and they're always talking about women. Why does that subject always come up? Hey, thanks for that super chat, Levon. He says, I think there's a mask being worn by people in many countries where poverty is great. I could never be happy if I wondered when my next meal, well, if I wondered where my next meal was coming from. I couldn't properly take care of my children. Yeah, see, you're hitting on deep stuff that if we talked about this, they would get offended. This is 100% truth, what you're spitting right here. You know, that's why when I say sometimes, and they say, you know, Filipinos are so happy, they're so contented, I said, that's not true, really. Not all of them. You know, sometimes you don't have a choice. So you have to be, you know, you just make the best of a bad situation. You know, but a lot of people in Maryland tell you the same thing. They're not happy. How are you going to be happy when, you know, you're wondering where your next meal is coming from? Or you got kids at home that you can't take care of and all of that. Okay. But I get it. I understand, you know, they do have a happy disposition. Okay. But is that the Mr. Nice Guy mask they got on? You know, you got to ask yourself that. And you bring up a great point, man. Larry Mills, that's no lie. Hey, are y'all sure this is Geechee line? Because he told me one time it wasn't him. He said, I was always skeptical about their appearance of happiness in such conditions. Yeah, they wear the mask too. You can't be, because they're human beings. There's things that upset them too. They get upset. They get frustrated. They get unhappy. They worry. And all the other emotions, they got 360 degrees to them too. He said, we avoid politics, but is there a suggestion box for the foreigners to use? Very seldom. Part of the culture is to keep a happy, what I want to say, uh, it's being happy and what is that, honey? The that y'all try to do. That's why when they say, when you complain over here, you're disrespecting the culture. Basically, to put on a happy face. Okay, it's me, Cal. Remember the imposter was faking another Geechee Lion's journey by slightly changing the spelling. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's him. Because you would have never known that we talked about that. Okay. Yeah, but our Filipinos really submissive. I don't know. I don't think so. They are to an end, but no, they're not. When you come over here, especially the women, you're gonna see something. They're more progressive and they have more power probably than any other women in Southeast Asia. I mean, when you come over here, they make up 22% of the Senate, of and all of that. They run the government. You gotta realize the Philippines has had two women presidents over here. That's two more than America's had. And when you go into the bank and the grocery store, everywhere you go, it's a woman running it. I mean, they got a lot of power over here. But I'm talking about us. I'm not even talking about them. He said the IT consultant, Calvin, maybe his words were looking for was they need to keep a happy disposition. Yeah, because a lot of times it's like you don't have any choice. I might as well be happy because being sad ain't gonna help me. But take care, everybody. I got to get off of here. I'll see y'all. The creek don't rise on Thursday. We'll come up with some more real life topics that we can talk about. It's going to help us, man, with your decision. Do I need a vacation or do I need to vacate? Is this going to be my retirement spot? I'm my vacation spot or my retirement destination. We don't have enough of the information. All we talk about is the same stuff. Okay, women, cost of living, the same foolishness. There's so much more that you gotta get adjusted to over here. Because a lot of guys who are listening to me right now who are disagreeing, they're on the honeymoon period. Remember, it's shaped like a U. You got your honeymoon period up here, your disillusionment period, the culture shock here, then you come out of it. Most people never get here. They're afraid to leave here. They'll do everything they can to stay up here. That's the cause of the Mr. Nice Guy. Okay, they want to stay up here. They don't want to see the real Philippines. They never want to see that. And the real people, and the real circumstances, and the shitty situations you can get yourself into over here in a culture shock situation. But eventually you make it through to the other side. I'm on the other side. I can see clearly now what I could not see 15 years ago, even 6 years ago. But take care, everybody. Hey, thanks, Wonder and Giant. Appreciate that. He said, Cal, just wanted to say that I'm happy you're back on the live stream. It's hard to find real people talking about real issues. Thank you. I appreciate that. He said, the Philippines is really hard work. I'm okay here, but it's not the place most people portray it as. Yeah, but for a lot of different reasons, too. Okay, it does have the beautiful beaches. It does have the beautiful women, but they don't tell you that, you got to be Mr. Nice Guy on a 24-hour basis. See, that's the part they leave out, little stuff like that. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Jones Michael, thanks for your support and welcome to the Sunshine Shoulders community. I'll have the Sunshine Shoulders community live stream tomorrow. But yeah, Geechee Land went through some changes. Are you coming back, Geechee Land, or was it Philippines wasn't enough for you? Take care, everybody. Don't do anything stupid. What else you making, honey?